So one of my favourite all-time YouTubers, Rick Beato, a few weeks ago, he released a video called The Top 20 Guitar Intros of All Time. And I cannot live another day without stepping up and creating one for us guys. Low-enders, groove hackers, low-end lovers. You know what I'm talking about. Now, without further ado, this is the top 10 bass intros of all time. The band was the Beatles, the album was the legendary Abbey Road, released in 1969. Bassist, obviously, Paul McCartney, Sir Paul McCartney, and he was using his trusty Rickenbacker 4001. So in terms of tone on this, you're going to want a sort of like a fat, round, old school kind of vibe. I've got this dialed all onto the P pickup, and I'm using a pick as well, obviously. I'm also making sure to mute it down here on the bridge using the old karate chop method. Hi-ya! Down here, just put it on there and you get this, that kind of vibe. So you want... Now, another error I see people making all the time with this bass line is adding a third strike in on the actual riff, right? It's not 1, 2, 3. That slide isn't picked. Don't pick the slide. So let's take a listen to the original bass line isolated so you can actually hear that there is no third strike. Here we go. The band was the OJs, the album was Ship Ahoy, released in 1973. The amazing Anthony Jackson was on bass, using, we think, his Career Girl, and the track is one of my favourites. It's For the Love of Money. So first of all, apologies for my approximate tone on this. I know I'm not nailing it exactly. The original had phaser, reverb and delay on it, where I just have a little delay on it. So I'm kind of in the right ballpark. So first of all, to play this tune, you're gonna need one of these things, a pick, and your bass, you want kind of a bright tone. This, I've got the bridge pickup all the way up, and I've got the neck pickup all the way down. And when I'm playing it with the pick, I'm playing it more to the back here, not here. I've got this. And that exactly what I was doing there is the key to this. You want this. And what I'm doing here is I'm releasing the pressure of these fingers. Okay, let's hear it on the original. The band was Graham Central Station. The album was Graham Central Station, released in 1974, with Larry Graham holding down the low end on his trusty Fender Jazz bass. The track is Hair. The trick to this one, and the one that I've had most issues with students with, is first of all leaving enough space in the bass line. It's not this. All those notes are really percussive and really short. And this has got to be the main one, people tend to consistently feel the downbeat in the wrong place, okay? They generally feel that bomb bomb as the downbeat, but it's not, they are not downbeats. Bomb bomb, they're upbeats. Beat on board. 2, 3. The band is Aerosmith, the album Toys in the Attic, released in 1975. Bassist, obviously, Tom Hamilton. I think he was using his jazz bass in this. I checked out the original music video in 1975. He was using his jazz bass in that, so I'm going to go with jazz bass. Obviously, the track is Sweet Emotion. So So with this bass line, you want to get a kind of bright tone. What I'm doing on here is I've got the bridge pickup up full and the neck pickup dialed back a little bit. And in terms of playing it, what really helps me is having this second finger here glued to the 12th fret, right? You want to glue it to the 12th fret because everything else is kind of moving around it. That's the foundation there. So look out for them octaves when you're, busting your chops over those, and just make sure that you're grounded with that root there. The band was Chic, album was also Chic, released in 1977. The amazing Bernard Edwards holding down the low end on his Music Man. The track is Everybody Dance. So for the tone of this one, first of all, you want a Music Man. I haven't got a Music Man, so I've put the bridge pickup on full, and then again, I've dialed back the neck pickup just slightly to give me a honkier tone. Bernard Edwards was also using flat wounds on this, so I have rolled off my tone a little bit. So I haven't got this, I've got this. That's the kind of vibe I'm going for. Now Bernard, when he was playing it, he's actually using his chucking method, okay? Chucking, which is, and I can't do it, I'm gonna try and do a bad version of it. It's where you approximate a plectrum with your fingers. He kind of does this. It sounds a mess when I do it. You can try that if you want. For me, using a plectrum works way easier. So you've got... Just slow it down and take it easy. Okay? And also, when you're doing that hammer on, make sure you're using the index, but the middle part of the index for that B flat to C. The band is Queen, album The Game, released in 1980. Bassist John Deacon using a Music Man. It is obviously Another One Bites the Dust. So this one does what it says on the packet. It's super punchy, really in the pocket. And the only thing really to look out for in this is making sure your notes are short enough. This is not... It's... Okay, see it, bump, 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 and you want to be bringing those notes off with a combination of right hand muting and left hand muting. Okay, MJ is in the house. The album is Thriller, released in 1982 with the killing Lewis Johnson holding down the low end, using, you might not know this, he's actually using a Yamaha bass on that track, and the track itself is Billie Jean. So this bass line is super in the pocket. It's in F sharp, so keep a lookout for that. And the only thing really to look out for that I see a ton of people doing and making a mistake with is thinking that the bass line is this. Which it is, but there's also a lower octave note because the synth is going So on those beats, 1, 2, and 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, 4, we need to play the octave. Check it. Now to do that, I actually use my thumb and index finger of my plucking hand and a combination of both when doing it so. The band was Green Day, the album was Dookie, released in 1994. bassist was Mike Dirnt, using a precision bass, and the track itself, one of my favourite. I can remember sitting in my bedroom practice this on the drums. The track is Longview. So before you try to get this bass line down, I've actually tuned my entire bass down half a step, okay? So that it's E flat, A flat, D flat, and G flat. Now the tone itself has definitely got a bit of dirt on it. I'm using an Alpha Omicron by Dark Glass, and I'm not going crazy with it, but I've got that, you know, I've got a bit of edge on it. Another thing to look out for is the skips. There's a few, it's almost like a walking bass line, right? So when you're doing the skips, those should be upstrokes. So everything's downstrokes, except those skips. The band is the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Album, Californication, released in 1999. The bassist is the phenomenal, obviously you know him already, it's Flea. And he was using, I think in this album, a Music Man, but I'm not going to put my life on it. And the track itself was Around the World. Okay, so for this one, tonally, I've got the fuzz on, and I'm using a Dark Glass Electronics Duality, and I've got all of the low end turned off. It's all top end. When you listen to the first part of the riff, when it all kicks in, it can be a little bit weird because the two different parts of that intro are different, and something you need to get down actually is just the... So just practice that separately, right? So you're doing 12th fret and hammering on to the 14th fret. Pluck, hammer, pluck, pluck. Pluck, hammer, pluck, pluck. Okay, so once you've got that down, the first part is, well, the first part is 1, 2, 3, 4. Then a do-da-do. With the fuzz. Before we get on to the number one, I want you to stick around as well because I've got some notable mentions. People that, you know, if we've been doing 20, 30 bass intros, I would have added them in, but, you know, I was trying to get it down to the top 10. Finally, we have the band Muse. The album was Absolution, released in 2003. The bass player, as always, was Chris Wolstenholme, using his 4-string status. The track is Hysteria. Okay, so first of all, this tune is a little bit of a beast, so just, you know, approach with caution. I'm approximating the sound with this little fuzz here by Dark Glass, but obviously there's much more going on in the actual live track, but it gets me in the, you know, the right ballpark. In terms of the settings, I've just got the bridge pickup all the way on. And then the neck pickup all the way off, tone all the way up. So in terms of playing this, it's, you know, there's a lot of stuff going on. This hand is busy and this hand's busy. This hand's busy because it's kind of chugging away there in the background, and this hand's doing a lot of pull-offs, okay? So... on the D string, there's this, one of the coolest lines in any riff ever, right? That's so good. So now on to the notable mentions, and obviously I wish we could have added these in, but I wanted to do a top 10. So from the top, Pearl Jam with the killing track Jeremy, Rage Against the Machine, and the awesome Take the Power Back. Pink Floyd Money. Nirvana, Love Buzz from the Killing album Bleach. Van Halen, Running with the Devil. Alice in Chains, Wood. Metallica, For Whom the Bell Tolls. Faith No More, Fall Into Pieces. And finally, probably the oldest on the list out of all of the stuff that we talked about, So What by Miles Davis. Now, obviously, if I've missed out somebody that you would have featured, I would absolutely love for you to let me know below in the comments. If you're not subscribed to the channel yet, make sure you do so and click the notifications on as well. That means you get notified every time we release one of these bad boys. Take it easy, guys. I'll see you in the shed.